Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that's in pretty much every office just kind of humming away in the corner, the copier. Now, you probably think you know what it costs, right? But what if I told you that the price tag, that's just the beginning? We're about to pull back the curtain on the real story.
So let's just ask it straight up. What is the real cost of that office printer? You might have a number in your head from the invoice, but that's almost never the whole story. The reality? Oh, it's usually way more complex and a whole lot more expensive.
And to really get this, we need to talk about a concept called total cost of ownership, or TCO. The best way to think about it is like an iceberg. That purchase price, that's just the tiny little tip you can see above the water. What we're going to explore today are all the massive hidden costs that are lurking just below the surface, the parts that can actually sink your budget.
All right, first up, let's look at the way most people do it. Buying a copier outright and then signing what's called an annual maintenance contract, or an AMC. As you're about to see, this is where those hidden costs really start to pile up. See, when you buy, there are four big burdens that almost nobody calculates ahead of time. We're talking about the huge chunk of cash you have to spend up front, all the time your own employees waste managing it, those super frustrating hidden fees, and of course, the risks you take when you try to cut corners. Let's break each of these down.
The first one is the most obvious, that huge initial investment. It's a massive chunk of your capital that gets instantly locked down. That's money that you could be pumping into your actual business, into marketing, innovation, growth. But instead, it's just sitting there in a machine that's losing value every single day. And then you've got the cost that never ever shows up on a balance sheet, your team's precious time. Just think about it for a second. Your IT people are troubleshooting paper jams. Your admin staff is chasing down toner suppliers. Your purchasing department is stuck haggling over contracts. All those hours are just sunk into a task that has nothing to do with what your business actually does. And don't even get me started on the annual maintenance contract. You think you're all covered, but then, bam, an invoice shows up with all these extra charges. Turns out certain parts or specific types of labor weren't covered in the fine print. It just makes budgeting impossible and forces your team to second-guess every single bill. This leads us right into the trap of false economy. To try and save a few bucks, maybe a company buys cheaper, non-genuine toner cartridges or parts. But the result is pretty much always the same. Terrible-looking prints, constant breakdowns, and sometimes you're looking at permanent damage that costs a fortune to fix. Okay, so we've laid out all the problems with the old-school buying model. Now, let's flip the script and explore a completely different way of thinking about this. An all-in-one rental service. The big difference here really boils down to one word: simplicity. That whole complicated mess of researching, buying, and then maintaining a copier gets boiled down to just 3 easy steps. You make one call, they deliver and set up the machine, and from that moment on, everything, the toner, the service, the support, it's all handled for you.
So you might be wondering, how does this even work financially? Well, it's all about scale. By managing over 1,000 different devices, a rental service gets incredible economies of scale. They can buy toner and parts in huge bulk quantities at prices that no single company could ever dream of getting. And then they pass those savings right on to you.
So here's what it all comes down to. Your billing becomes totally transparent and predictable. No more surprise fees. You get actual, real cost savings because of their buying power. You've got a dedicated team of experts on call whenever you need them. And best of all, you replace dozens of phone numbers and potential headaches with just one single point of contact.
So this is where the rubber really meets the road. Let's put these two models side by side to really hammer home the strategic difference between them.
When you lay it all out like this, the difference is just, wow, it's so clear. With buying, you've got a huge capital investment. With renting, zero upfront cost. With buying, you're draining your team's time. With renting, one point of contact. The risk of hidden fees is totally replaced by a clear, predictable bill. And that gamble on service quality, it becomes a guarantee of expert support with top-notch parts.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's not really about trying to find a cheaper price tag. It's about making a fundamentally smarter business decision, a choice to get rid of headaches, free up your cash, and let your team focus on the stuff that actually grows your business.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's zoom out for a second, because this whole explainer, it was never really just about copiers, was it? It's about a way of thinking that you can apply to your entire business.
And this is the real takeaway. The whole idea of total cost of ownership applies to absolutely everything. We're talking software, company cars, equipment, you name it. The sticker price is never the full story. The true cost always includes those hidden variables. your team's time, the ongoing maintenance, the risk, and the lost opportunity of having your money tied up.
And that brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Take a look around your own business. Think about the tools, the software, the equipment you're using every single day. After everything we've talked about today, where else might one of those massive financial icebergs be hiding, just beneath the surface? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.